Catfish players.
Is he on?
Nope.
It's definitely.
What's up, guys? Patrick here from Top Tier Gaming, and today I got top six at the Tulsa, Oklahoma Regional with Salamangreat. I think this deck, I don't know going forward if it will be like a really high meta contender, but it was the best deck in the room, like pretty much by far. It occupied more spots in top 8 than I think any other deck. It played really well today. So yeah, I was gonna go ahead and give you all the profile for it. Starting off, and then the actual best card in the deck. Foul today was actually so insane. The second effect to target a back row pitch a salad card and like they can't activate it to light stage it. It was super insane. I used it on like 4 or 5 back row and it won me every single game that I got to do it. It also makes Baguska, which is like the win con versus branded Despia. So yeah, you just stomp them if you activate it. Or if you make him, excuse me. Bagusa, we'll talk about that in a minute. And then the only good normal summon Cyberse is Buffalo. Being able to pitch certain salad cards from your hand to be able to just draw to and draw into more hand traps is absolutely disgusting, and this card is just basically unfair. Also, you can play the Ibly thing, but it's really cheesy, and it would for sure just be a one of you search off mining in those matchups, but I probably wouldn't do it. Speaking of, 3 mining, 3 circle, this just got to 3, this is one of the reasons I picked this deck, along with Desires, which just went to 2. The consistency of this deck is ridiculous. Like, you're going to draw a salad card in pretty much every hand. It's just how it works. One of the only matches I lost versus Aaron was because I didn't. Or I opened Minings, but he just had 2 Ashes back-to-back turns, so it's just unfortunate. But yeah, I wouldn't change any of this. This list to me is basically perfect. There's like 1 card we can consider a flex spot, and we'll get to that in a second. Double Will. This card is stupid. You shouldn't play 1, but you can't play 3, so 2 is just like the perfect ratio that's been found over time. 1 of Sanctuary, because this card's insane. You just get to relink and get a bunch of bonus effects. And then 1 Rage, 1 Roar. So a lot of people are trying to establish a way to play the deck where like I'm only doing X or Y, like I'm only playing the traps or I'm only playing hand traps, like through Heat Soul. But I learned in testing, you really just want to look at your hand and figure out how you want to play out that hand. It's not really a locked-in strategy. So if you like Desires and banish both of these, you just go, all right, we're now a Heat Soul deck, and we're just going to draw 3 hand traps and stun you out. Then 1 Cobble Grave is broken. Ban that card. Hand traps, we have double DD Crow, double Nib. Nib is bad against a few decks, specifically Despia and Fluanderies. And I didn't want to play 3 of it in the main. Well, I did, but then we labbed it out with Levi. Shout out to him for helping me with some of the hand trap ratios, because originally I was going to play 1 Crow. But having 2 actually came up a whole bunch today versus a bunch of weird matchups. Being able to hit the Branded Reds and being able to hit Vishudas whenever they're sent to grave is so stupid. Same thing with any of the Tinnies and Tinny Sword Soul. You really just want to have that card for it. And then the staples, 3 Ash. This is actually the best hand trap in any room ever. Ash is actually an FTK, like 90% of the time. Especially in Salad when you can recur it. So if the game gets simplified and you're playing basically the trap version, every single turn you go, all right, Sunlight Wolf, add back Roar, special to it, add back Ash, and you just have a counter trap or you have Rage every single turn. And it's just oppressive. Like any deck, very few decks can grind against that. Triple Veiler, this card is also incredibly good right now. Pretty much the only bad matchup is, I can't think of a bad matchup, but yeah, Veiler's stupid. Just 1-for-1ing with a monster is crazy. Plus he's a multiple use, so if you draw multiple off of Heat Souls, like 1 on your turn and 1 on your opponent's turn, you can still use both of them, which is one of the downsides of the other cards such as Imperm and Ash Blossom and Nibiru, where you can't activate them multiple times in a turn. So you still want to have this because it can't be triple tacked, and it's still just a spot target negate, which is insane. And combining any of these 6 with Nibiru, you break pretty much any combo board. It's just stupid to be able to just activate Imperm, they bear negate, and you Imperm it and you win the game. It's basically what it comes down to. That is it for the main deck. It's 40 flat. I've seen a few lists that are playing triple Jack Jaguar, and I think that is completely valid. Like, I don't think that's bad at all, because he's a 1-card Heat Soul. But I did not have a 3rd super, so I said I'm just going to run Call by the Grave in the spot. and Call by the Grave came up a whole bunch today. I drew it like a crackhead, so it was really nice. But I would consider playing the third Jack Jaguar over it, or just playing 41. But I don't really want to go over 40 in this list at all, because it just was nice to consistently draw the same hands every game. Extra deck, there's nothing to really discuss for the first like 7 monsters. Triple Balinks, triple Sunlight Wolf, and the one Mirage. I've seen lists cutting Balinks down to 2, but they're the ones playing like other engines, like the Code Talker engines, which I think those decks are good. But for what I was trying to do, I needed 3 Balinks. Like I summoned 3 Balinks at least once a match, because I went to game 3 most matches, because we just killed them game 1, and then game 2 they set up full board when I didn't draw 2 hand traps, and then, you know, do that. But the other cards, Lingerevo, you just need to link one that you can make under your Sunlight Wolf to make Heat Soul, and this is the best one to do it. Splash Mage, he's how you get 1 card Heat Soul off of everything except for the Spinny, because Spinny's the only one that isn't a 1 card Splash Mage. Spinny and I think Falco, I can't remember right now. I'm very tired. Update Jammer, this is how I won almost all my games, going Update Transcode. Being able to attack twice with 5300 is stupid, and it's like the gimmick of every Salad deck, and this is probably the best one at doing it. This or Adig, but that's a topic for a forum, not really here. Double Transcode Talker, I got a few questions about this from everybody as we were coming here and prepping for it, but I actually needed double transcode 4 or 5 times today. It came up a lot, like to be able to bait out like a Zeus or something by summoning back your Heat Soul under it, and Heat Soul is now 33, so you can just punch over it unless they send. So yeah, and then the next turn you just come back with the access code off of it, which is insane. Speaking of which, one access code. If I thought there was space in the deck, I would play 2/2. Like I would cut probably a Balinks for the second access code, but I never really thought it would outvalue the Balinks, so I probably wouldn't. And then one Baguska, I summoned it twice today, I think, and one time it was to turn off a Dragoon, so it's the most balanced card in Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's completely fair. Yeah, smiley face. Terribly tired. Side deck, it has a little bit of space for improvement. But starting off the hand traps, we have Triple Droll. This came in versus every combo matchup, and it's stupid. It's Droll, like it shuts down everything. This card's crazy. I just don't personally want to main it, because there's some decks I don't think it's good versus. Triple Token Collector, it came in twice. I drew it once, and it won me my match against Sword Soul. And then I put it in for like a Brave Dragon Link deck that I played in the last round, but I didn't draw it, so unfortunate. But he's for sure crazy. Like I think these 3 cards are like mandatory. Same with him. Like I think these 6 are like locked in. Triple Cosmic. I put it in once today, and it was versus a combo deck that was setting Scythe, and then I didn't draw it. So, you know, it's fine, I guess. But you do need something for back row decks, so I'm probably never taking them out. Even though you have outs to it with things like Foxy and the Rage Roar. Like you just want to have more cards, especially things you can take out like Nib and DD Crover's back row decks, which are just useless 90% of the time. One reboot. I played the last 2 regionals I went to without this card, and I got smacked in the throat for it. So we're just not going to a regional without this card again. I repent for my sins. God forgive me and my family and my lineage. My B. Then going first cards, double cross out. I was originally playing Change of Heart and 1 anti-spell fragrance, because I thought I only had 4 spots to side for going first. And then Levi was like, hey Dum Dum, you died in Nib, and I was like, oh yeah, that's facts. So I just borrowed his and put these in those 2 spots, and it was crazy. I almost lost the match round 1 because I forgot I was siding this, and I set it turn 1. And then he impermed my access code on resolution, and I was like, damn, all right, you're good. And then I checked my background, I was like, oh. I haven't done any testing with this card, so that bit me in the ass. So, you know, test your cards and you'll probably do better. But every other time it came up, it was broken. Except the last round where I cross-outed Valor and he chained a second Valor, and I, cried. And then another card I didn't play the last regionals I went to was D-Barrier. Again, God forgive me for my sins, my transpasses, and my transgressions. This card is single-handedly the stupidest card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, in my opinion. I would play into Nibiru turn ones, like games 2-3, whenever I drew this, because I was like, all right, I genuinely don't care if you nibbed me, because I'm just going to set this and win the game. Like, sure, you can punch me for like 17 with the Moye, whatever, I don't care. You can't summon, so you just lose next turn because I have 3 Salamangreat monsters with unique effects engraved. So, yeah, play this card. PSA.
So is there any rounds that you want to go over? We did have 9 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah, we had 9 rounds of Swiss when it was 2 over to instead of it being an 8 round, which if it was 8 round, me and Aaron are both top 4, which was whatever, we don't have to get into that. That was stupid. But round 1 I played against Sky Striker. Everybody's playing it because they're like, yo, it won a YCS, best deck. And then they draw no Ray and they lose the game. So yeah. That deck's still insane, has a really good matchup, but I think Salad is currently better than it, just because, you know, drawing hand traps and drawing, like, dumb blowout cards is nice. But, yeah, that was, I think, 2-0. Just update transcode both games. Round 2, I played against Adam Emancipator. Game 1, he bricked and just normal summoned Guardian, and I was able to play the game. And I just won that one. I only won that one because Game 3, he whiffed 2... Come on, bro. You can at least let him think it's mine. What was it? Game 3, I messed up. That was the one where I was talking about I forgot that I had the crossout set. And then the only reason I won is because he whiffed Seeker Mill and he whiffed Researcher Mill. I literally lose the game if he puts a single other monster on board, but he whiffed both of them. So I was like, whoo, unpunished. Round 3. What did I play round 3? I played... I'd have to look. I don't remember. Round 3 was like unmemorable. Round 4 unmemorable. I played against like a invoked Shadal deck, and I just had DD Crow Veiler both games for Albion and for Albion Effect Engrave on my turn. So, you know, killed him. You didn't have to do that, Jamal. I'm sorry. I played Aaron round 6 and lost to him. That was the most ape game I've ever played in my life.
Round 5.
Was it round 5?
I think it was round 5.
Yeah, I think it was round 5. Oh yeah, it was, because I was 4-1 after I played you. But yeah, I didn't really draw well. He went first game 1, and I had 4 hand traps, or excuse me, 3 hand traps, 2 mining, and I drew for turn, and it was a 4th hand trap. And then he ashed my first mining, I passed, and then he ashed my second mining, and I passed. So, you know, game 2, I tried to combo, and then he summoned Alpha, and was just like, alright, I'm just gonna punch this Balinx in the mouth 4 times in a row, so I died. Round after, I don't remember. Basically, none of the other rounds mattered. The Sword Soul guy I played round 8 was cool. Shout out to him. I don't know if he watches his channel or not, but he was cool. I held Nib Veiler for a really long time, so I was able to beat him. Plus D-Barrier in game 3. Oh, and the Pen guy. Pen guy was 6, or I think it was round 6. Either way, he was cool. Sorry that you got Droll unlocked D-Barriered in the same turn, because might be. Yeah, then I played round 9 against the guy that won, who got first, and God, those hands were war crimes. He actually comboed for like 7 minutes, and then I opened game 3. Game 1 I opened 1 hand trap, was nowhere near enough. Game 2 I won because I had Droll. Droll plus like Heatleo drawing like 3 cards over the course of 3 turns, which was stupid. So I just win that game through advantage, and then game 3, my hand is DD Crow Veiler and a bunch of salad cards, and I'm like, all right, I have to play this perfectly, and he has to DD Crow Nib, and he has to like play super poorly to lose. He doesn't fall for the bait on DD Crow, so I just try to nib him, doesn't work, and then he goes, even after all that stuff resolved, after he negated it, he activates Chaos Space and Quick Launch from hand, and he hadn't drawn since like 20 minutes earlier, and I was like, all right, so he actually had just the god hand. It was his day to win. Like, that dude, he played really well too. Like, I'm not trying to discredit his win. He played as well as he should, but you know, it was definitely his day. So congratulations to him. Congrats to Aaron for getting second. They're the reason I got into the top 8 because I was the highest rated X2. Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe to Top Tier Gaming.